Welcome to BUB-IT, the ODDKAST.
Yes, the forum for layman's term and the oddities of bigotry with Black 10.
And Plex.
Okay, prosperity. Usually on the ODDKAST, the prosperous perspectives are used to recap on the prior podcast. But since we kind of got raggedy with that, I want to mention, first of all, love, condolences, and thoughts and prayers going out to the people who were injured and the family of those who lost their life in this recent Virginia Beach shooting, another horrific example of malicious gun violence in America. I have to say, I am still for people's rights to own a weapon for protection. I'm still with people's rights to even bear arms in certain situations. It's a hard thing to, and this is just my opinion, and it's just me personally. It's a hard thing to land 1 foot on either side of the line, because when things like that happen, you almost feel hopeless. You almost feel helpless. What do we do? I do not have the answer. The things that are put in place that are supposed to help stop or discourage this behavior, there are probably more than the only two that I know of put in place, and I'm going to talk about that later. But one of them is bias, and the other one is almost impossible to keep track of. I'll go into that later. But we have to figure out what's important to us in this country. For every step we take forward, we take 5 steps backwards. What's more important? The guns, in which my brother Plex has informed me that there are more guns than people in this country, or human life. What's more important? What do we want more? What do we cherish more? I don't know. Like I said, I don't have the answer. It's confusing. It's a sad state of affairs. Again, my condolences to the victims in that shooting. This time it was a black male, like Brother D.L. Hughley said, because his ass is dead. He was not apprehended. He did not shoot himself. The police killed him. So that may have a whole nother chapter to it in itself. I don't have any details on it. I don't know what the particulars of why this happened. I just know that it was another example of lives lost at the stake of a firearm again. And I'm not sure if the answer is to unarm the people, because unarming the people would put us in a situation to where we will befall tyranny at the hands of the various governing and policing agencies. I truly believe that. Now, that's not at all to say that something should not be done about it. I don't know what should be done about it, but I do know that I do know that this is it's just sad, man. It's sad, and I really, my prayers really go out to those individuals that lost their lives, and I really can't even speak on how to be prosperous with that. We do need to get prosperous in that field. So I really don't know, bro. I'm lost at words. I saw it a couple of days ago, and I'm just at a loss of words. I don't know what to say about this happening, but I do understand why people are still reluctant to give up their guns. I guess the only thing I can find prosperous, the only avenue to prosperity in that is to make a decision. What's more important, human life or the firearms that we glorify in music, movies, and day-to-day life? Find prosperity wherever we can. Let's get prosperous. It's the ODDKAST. So greetings, Earthlings. Some more of it. Welcome to BUB-IT, the ODDKAST, with the bad example, Principal Black 10.
Your boy Plex.
Yeah, and we back, man. That was tragic. The shit that went on in Virginia Beach, but we'll touch on that again later. How was your week so far?
My week wasn't too bad. I had a couple of little issues here and there, but you know, it's busy for the most part. Typical
Mhm.
work week, you know. Sucks to be
Yeah,
on the plantation and happy to be off of it.
yeah, and then can't wait to get back on it because bills still got to get paid. So I hear you
Yeah.
on that all around. My week was another episode of the shit show, but I'm even so I'm thankful. You know, I'm alive. I'm talking to you now. The children are healthy and they're okay. So hey, not
Well,
really much I can complain about.
yeah, what can you say, right?
Yeah, I mean I can say a whole lot though. You know what I'm saying? I can say a whole lot, goddammit, but I'm not. I'm just gonna say,
Hey,
hey man,
we all can
still getting
use
it together.
we could all use to hit that lottery.
Well, yeah, money would make a lot of grievances, a
Financially.
little financial grievances better, but other than that, it's a whole lot more to it than that.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
know, today, you know, we did have we recorded a podcast, but the Pabst Blue Ribbon took over that one.
Shout out to
And,
Paps.
the Pabst Blue Ribbon took over that one on your boy, and I'm still frustrated with myself and looking at the face of a motherfucker who's uh, capitalizing off said idiocies of me and the anger and all that shit. So we'll find a way to use that and have fun with it later. But you know, today,
Yeah, there'll be some I'll get some clips of that and put some mash up, maybe put some more what do you call it? Mood music behind it,
yeah,
and you know,
yeah,
we'll figure it out.
dude. If you do that, what is it? Silent or shameless whispers.
Careless whispers. Nah, I could do the
Uh,
careless whispers. I'm
yeah.
gonna figure
Oh
something
my
else out.
god. Oh my god. Like that shit. Jesus. Like put some MOP behind it or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Addy up.
Yeah, Andy, the fuck out. Nigga, you take your or Simon says some shit, make motherfucker take your shirt off around this motherfucker, get the fuck up. But yeah, but you know, today, man, like I said on the last one I had questions. Today I have concerns and also questions, and I'm gonna pick your brain if you will allow me, sir.
Yeah.
Um okay, so for one, I want to start with this. Um, you know, there's a thing going on. We know Ohio, Alabama, a few other states passed this law where it's a felony to give abortions.
Yeah.
These people are individuals who call themselves, and I don't want to say they're all conservative Republican. I'm pretty sure that if that's heavy, it's heavy on the mayonnaise with that. But either way it go, they call themselves, what's the term? Pro-life,
Yeah, pro-lifers,
pro-lifers.
Bible thumpers,
Yeah, you know, Christian,
whatever.
Christian, Christian faithful, and all these things.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Matter of fact, I wonder where is that energy when it comes down to minorities being killed, unarmed minorities being killed at the hands of police and agencies. Again, this is no attack on the police, but really, I don't give a fuck. Take it how you want to. This is fact. Why is it so easy to take up this pro-life position? Don't abort the child, no matter what the circumstance is, because that's killing a baby. But you see, or that's killing a person, but you see an individual shot unarmed, not doing anything wrong, nothing warranted. This is not to speak to when any instance where it's obviously warranted and an officer is doing their job. Just when it's not warranted, it's obvious, it's in video, and they turn the same people turn a blind eye, and they say stuff like, "Well, they should have complied, or they should have." Whatever they say, there's always an excuse made. It's treated so nonchalantly. Open it up, Plexus. Give me your thoughts on that.
You know, this is a deep, deep subject as far as that goes. You know, I don't. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it why the cops are like that when it comes to minorities. Uh, like I just recently saw a video. I don't remember what the video, who posted the video or any of that, but it was the video you probably saw it where the cop has got his gun drawn. The guy's like, "I'm not moving. My hands." He's in the car. His hands are out the window. He's like, "My hands are
Yeah,
up," and he's
yeah,
like, turn the car off. And he's like, "So what? So I can move my hands so you can shoot me?" I mean,
yeah,
why? I
yeah.
don't understand why it's always that case. I also don't understand why you got people who do the whole, well, we don't know what he's about, and we don't know the backstory. It's like you don't really need the backstory if the motherfucker is complying already with his hands in the air. And why does he have his gun drawn?
You're right, right.
Not every situation needs to have a gun drawn. You know, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't see how you can be pro life, but then you dismiss stuff like that. It's
Right.
just ridiculous.
It confuses me because it's if I could be wrong, I could be talking out the side of my ass, but if you're pro life, you're pro life. That
All life.
means that you're pro all life. There's no color lines in that. There's no
Mm-hmm.
bias. There's no room. I mean, in my opinion, there's no room for bias in that. Um, if you're pro life, then why does that same pro life stance not transfer over to an individual being brutally beaten
Yeah.
or mercilessly murdered at the hands of an officer when he's obviously in compliance? Or I would say, if even if not obviously in compliance, there really is no threat that would warrant gun violence. We are paying uh, taxes to pay these gentlemen to be trained. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what
Well,
I'm thinking is going on. You
well,
know what I'm saying? Are they trained or are they not trained? The average cop is strong enough, in shape enough. The average cop. I'm not talking about your Pillsbury Doughboy who didn't let himself go and been on the field, been on the
yeah,
force
yeah.
for however long.
Average, healthy cop that's
Right,
take care of
right.
himself and
You
does his
can
thing.
run faster than the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably fight better than the rest of us, and probably not fight better, but who knows?
You got some
You're that
squabbles.
much. You have something to where
Yeah.
you should be able to apprehend a person. Now, this whole thing about, well, we need our officers safe. No, it would be a good thing to have our officers safe. When we pay taxes, that covers whatever the government has put in place to govern and run the country. Am I right or wrong about that?
Yeah, but
That
here's
co-
my thing. Here's my thing on that. Before you go further,
uh,
yeah, we pay the officers, but to do that. But I see a lot of cops nowadays. They just pussy. Let's just be honest. Every situation don't need a
yeah.
fucking firearm.
Yeah, yeah, and that's my point. It's like I hear this all the time now. Don't get me wrong. I hear this officer's job is to go home at the end of the day. I
Everybody's
disagree.
job is
I
that.
did it's yeah, no, 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 no. The mailman's job is to go home at the end of the fucking day. When we pay taxes, we pay this money goes to our military who we're paying to go out there and risk your life.
Yeah,
When we pay a firefighter's tax, when our taxes pay the firefighters, we're paying for you to go out there, put out a fire that might cost you your life. Now, this is not to speak recklessly or haphazardly on their life, but this is what you signed up for.
correct,
It's like a famous person signing up for that industry, but you don't want to take pictures with your fans. It's
correct.
like a construction worker who signs on for that, but you don't want to do no hard labor.
Yeah,
It makes no sense. I would like for officers, or at least good officers. Other than that, I'm black. I don't really give a fuck. I would like for good officers to make it home to their wives and children. I'm very acknowledging that a lot of them have families, but you signed up to put on that uniform, put on that badge to go out there and risk your fucking life. I'm not paying you to make it home safe. I'm paying you to do something dangerous. You understand what I'm saying? That I'm not doing, and that the person that works at my local grocery market is not doing.
yeah,
The grocery lady gets paid to bag groceries, do whatever stock work she does at her job, and then make it home to her children. And life happens. Things happen for everybody. It doesn't always go smooth. But I'm sick and tired of this narrative that it's their job to make it home safe. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It's your job to go out there and try to apprehend criminals, and that's a very dangerous endeavor.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's quite a dangerous endeavor, and I applaud the cops that go out there and do that on a daily
Hmm.
basis, and actually are doing the job. I got friends. I got a couple of family members that are cops, and I applaud that they
Right.
go out there and do the job, and they're not out there being a fucking dick just to be a dick. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
they
I
do
meet
still
cool
they
cops all the
yeah,
time.
they still have their humanity and all that good stuff, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's great, and I applaud those police officers. I don't applaud the corrupt police officers, and I don't
Right.
applaud the cops that want to hide behind that blue wall of silence, and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
when the cops ain't got no street code like like
Yeah.
uh like
Yeah.
your local street gangs and stuff like that. So
Except for
if
no
yeah,
snitching.
yeah, no,
Except for
they
no
no,
snitching.
they need to do the snitching. They need to talk about the cops that are actually brutalizing civilians,
Yeah.
and we need to get them out of there. And I
Hmm.
also believe that cops should have a psychiatric evaluation every
Right.
6 months, pulled off
Yeah.
the street, and then
Yeah.
once they pass they psych, then they can go back on the street. But they gotta have. I think they're on the street too long. They need a 6 month break. They need a 6 and a 6. They need to, when they do their 6 months, they take a psych eval. They hit the desk for 6 months and do desk work while you got the other cops come off the desk, and they go back out to the street. And I think that'll help
Mm.
a lot of it to be mitigated, because you won't have these strung out, burnt out cops who are just a lot of these cops are burnouts.
So you talking like kind of like rotation then, like put them in rotation, like something like that. Like
Yeah.
you on the desk for a certain time, and then you go on the street, and another person who was on the street comes to the desk, type of
Correct.
scenario. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I think they need to do, because that'll help mitigate a lot of that, because they won't be on the street for so long. They won't be out there just dealing with bullshit. They won't be burning out. And a lot of these incidences, I think a lot of them are, one, they just chumps, and just they shouldn't have had the badge to begin with. And two, I think a lot of them are burnouts. And I'm talking about the bad cops. I'm not talking about the good cops. I'm just talking about these bad cops in this situation. And I think we will be able to weed out the bad cops by finding out by doing that, because you won't have so much cop on civilian interaction in a negative light.
Right. You know, and I guess initially what concerns me is the whole probation, not probation, Jesus, abortion is wrong, but that that is not shown the same energy. You know what I mean? It's like, well, if aborting a baby is wrong, and I don't believe, I truly do believe, I'm far from politically correct. I truly do believe that what a woman does with her body is her business. You see what I'm saying? I really do believe that. If she chooses to keep it, fine. If she chooses to abort it, fine. That's her choice. You understand what I'm saying? But for you to attack these people in such a way to pass a law as in what you can do with your own body and how you deal with the circumstances of your own choices, that's not breaking the law. Now you make it a law because you want to put that in policy. There's no room for it.
Yeah.
However, people are being killed while they're unarmed, and egregious examples of policing, and you turn a blind eye to that. Either you're pro-life or you're not.
Yeah.
I'm confused by it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But on that note, um, what's next on the docket we got here? What's next on the list?
Okay, well, that rolls over into the next thing I was going to talk about, the whole abortion thing, and how women get flack for it. You know what I mean? Especially in like more, maybe I'm not right by saying urban settings. Maybe that's not the right term, but I know what I know, and I know pretty much ghetto folk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've seen the whole man not want to have the baby and try to convince the woman to have an abortion.
Yeah.
Now, when women go through with the abortion, you have people who call them murderers. When women keep the baby, oh, you trying to trap a nigga with the baby. And so
Yeah.
it's like
It's
woman, women, women. She did it, she did it, she did it. I don't see that same energy given to the dude who said, I'm gonna run up in this wall, or the rubber bust, but I'm gonna keep going. You know, it takes two to make a baby, and I'm not landing on either side of. I mean, well, I'm not trying to pick at either particular side of it. I just do feel that it actually takes two, and I don't see that same energy, you know, poured out towards the man. And I'm a man, so you know, I know motherfuckers like, man, what the fuck you talking about? You a dude? Well, I've had situations where a woman has had an abortion, and I got children. So in both cases, a discussion was had on it, and I don't know that any of those decisions were all up to me. And the whole, well, she should have kept it, or she just did that to trap you, or whatever it is, nobody ever turned to me really and be like, that's on you too, because you made that baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah,
understand why
yeah,
that's
yeah,
so
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
sided.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how other people look at it. My perspective on it is it takes two. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know whether she keeps the child or she doesn't keep the child. I mean, the male to me has some right in it as far
Yeah.
as what happens. As far as like, okay, you guys can't have the baby. You gonna get an abortion. Well, it shouldn't just be up to her to pay for the abortion. The guy should be doing it too. Why? Because both of y'all did that.
Right.
If she decides to keep it, then yeah, you know, you got to do what you got to do as a man, financially and for the child. Um, but I think it's to me. I mean, I know what you mean, and I know what you're talking about because I have seen that as well. But I feel it's the same. It should be the same energy for both parties. It shouldn't
Right.
just all be on the woman. It's like a double-edged sword. Either she keeps it or she doesn't. And if she does, then she's trapping a guy with a baby or trying to keep a
Right.
nigga with a baby. I mean, didn't Dr. Dre and them make a song about it?
Probably. I don't know. Probably. And I'm
um,
not talking about the extreme cases, though. By the way, I'm not talking about,
no, no, no.
you know,
I know what you
rape
mean.
or violation. Those are, that's a whole nother complex scenario right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
no, I know what you're talking
That
about. You talking
you
about
know
just the generic, just regular
the
nigga shit.
regular, yeah, the regular nigga shit, and the thing is, the whole, well, she had an abortion. Well, 8 to 9 times out of 10, nigga, he dropped her off because I know I dropped the motherfucker off and picked the motherfucker up. So
Yeah,
you know what I
either
mean?
he dropped him off, he paid
Yeah,
for it. I mean,
yeah.
he
So
knew about it.
or medical coverage, whatever paid for it, he knew about it. He
Yeah.
was okay with it to a degree. Now, in the event that a man is not okay with it, then uh, I don't really know what to do about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know where that would lie. You know what I mean? Like it's up to the woman ultimately. I don't believe that a man. They say Tupac says since a man can't create one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where she can make one.
I kind of agree with what he said on that because
A
I've
little bit, but at the same time, we do. You can't. She can't have it without us. So we do create. We are the creators. She's the incubator. You know what I'm saying? And the deliverer. So we can create it. But as far as not, I agree with him as far as he can't. He shouldn't be able to tell her to have it or not to have it, when to have it, or however to have it. That's I agree with that because ultimately it's her who's going to have to carry it. It's
hmm
her who's going to deal with the physical repercussions of having it in her. It's her who's going to deal with the pain. It's her who's going to deal with the aftermath,
the
that
whole
whatever they call.
situation.
Yeah, the aftermath. I forget the name of it, but whatever depression comes after the baby's born sometimes, and the body not feeling the same and all that stuff. It's
Yeah,
her
yeah,
who
yeah,
deals
yeah,
with
yeah.
that. So I get it. But at the same time, in the event that a woman wants to abort a baby and a man doesn't want to, wants to keep the baby, perhaps maybe it would be better if we could prove that we should be uh, forced to sign something to say no, we're holding to this. You know what I mean? Hold
So
us
you're
to
saying
this.
like a legal doctrine, but a
I don't want.
contract. No,
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off.
basically,
Not legal. Not legal.
well, then if it ain't legal, then it can't. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah. I
not going to
mean,
be able to be.
yeah. You're right. Yeah,
It
you're
would
right.
have to be legal, and then now
Yeah.
then you're getting the court involved into something.
Right, and that's not good to have the courts involved in households. We've seen the
Yeah,
detriment in that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
if
I
that
mean maybe just a mutual agreement written. But you're right. Either way it go to have it. legal and binding, you would probably have to get a. I don't know. Maybe there is no room for it. I guess it would just be a sucky situation then if a man wants to keep a baby and a woman wants to get rid of it, and that's just
I
nothing
mean,
you can
yeah,
do
I
about
mean that really is what it is. I mean,
it.
um, ultimately, I feel that it's the final decision comes to the woman. That's how I feel
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. Ultimately,
biologically, she's the one that's going to be doing everything other
yeah.
than me
Hmm.
as a man just sitting there watching it happen and going down.
Yeah, 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 that's
So,
true. I agree 100%. You're
so,
absolutely right. It's just
so
confusing. It's just
for yeah,
confusing.
so I mean, for a man, if he wants to keep it, I mean, like you were saying, if they're going to do that, then they would have to go through the court. And I'm already against.
Yeah.
Me personally, I feel that the courts have already too much influence into family life.
Yes.
Sometimes it is warranted and needed, for the protection of children when it comes to
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
child endangerment and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Trifling shit, family
Yeah,
fighting in
that
front of the
type of
kids,
shit,
all that shit.
that
It
type of
makes
thing,
sense.
it makes
Yeah.
sense. But my problem is when the court sides with the woman and she's doing this stuff out of spite.
Yeah, that well, see, that's what I'm saying.
So
I'm glad
so
you said that.
so in that regard, for that type of thing to happen with abortion, where they would have a legal contract saying that he's going to be financially responsible for the child, including like health and board and all that, she has
Yeah,
no
yeah.
obligations other than delivering the child. They would
Hmm.
have to go through the court, and I don't. That's
I
already
don't,
given the
yeah.
court. Yeah, that's already given the courts to me too much influence into that situation.
Yeah, capping that off, I'm gonna say from the rooter to the tutor on that, because from marriage on down to anything else you can think of, except for in cases of, like you said, domestic violence, uh, uh, verbal abuse, all these things,
Child endangerment.
you
That
get child
I
endangerment. It's all
totally
child
agree.
endangerment. It's all child
But even
endangerment to
even when
me.
there's no kids involved and there's just
Yeah, just verbal
domestic
abuse,
violence and
period.
all that
Yeah,
stuff, I agree with the courts being involved in that type of situation
right,
because
right.
it's needed.
Yeah, right. Even if it's not physical, like
Hmm.
anything toxic, yeah, we don't always make the best decisions and just going our own way and leaving it alone. So in that case, I guess the courts do come in handy, but I'm not for the courts involved in family situations at all.
I'm when it comes to, well, it's just really, it's a really sticky subject, and it's a really
Hmm.
messy subject
Right.
because in some cases, yeah, the courts are great to have involved, but in some cases the courts are doing more damage than good. And then you have a biases in the court when, because a woman can just automatically put a child on a man. And if you don't take the DNA test and you start paying for this child and then eventually find out that it's not your child, and then all that money is gone because courts aren't going to take money from a child, you know what I mean? Which I
Yeah.
agree with that too. It's if you slept with someone and it was a one night stand and they end up getting pregnant and they come telling you that I got a baby and it's yours, you should be taking a DNA test. Or if you feel like your woman isn't faithful to you, or vice versa, and you should be having a DNA test. And
Yeah. I like how you use that word faithful. I hate that faithful ties so closely with loyalty because I still see that so different, but that's just me,
I
and
don't
I'm an
believe
idiot, so
being
I
faithful
care.
and loyal are the same.
It's not the same to me.
Mm-mm.
Financial resources and absolute, where one is reporting to and all your hard work and everything.
Yeah.
That's loyal. Faithful, yeah, the promiscuous or stepping out infidelity, but blah blah blah. I don't even want to touch on that shit. I'm cool. Step away
Yeah.
from that.
Uh, all right. Well, on that note, we're going to close that one out. And
Uh-huh.
I guess we're going into the freestyle portion
Yeah, let's take a
already.
quick break and we'll be back with a little bit more of the oddities of the iCast.
It's the Oddcast, bitch.
I'm more than ether, rhymes equipped with special features. I get off when you see creatures. Bars are born to storm, black gating in your acorn. Secrecy sworn, baptized the water lukewarm. Blood mothers born, product hardcore, this is the war. Many men are get torn, step into the Lord.
Horrible hordes of excellent pensive, probable cause to punch the princess. That handle the skirt lyricists, grind the thirst, high-end theorists. My client spirit engine is thorough, infinite inclined to mission. The equivocal agonists, we distributed atlases. nemesis. We gon' hit 'em with the anthem, have at 'em with the agony. Mutilated tragedy, automatic amputee, hard life reality. Been there, had a piece, agony, tragedy, agony, tragedy. Better bitch it with the disrespect of hip hop and actually tune in to the very elements of majesty. That's when your subject matter runs out of gas and see agony, tragedy, agony. Yo, protagonize a vocalist, doposaurus, pillage the chorus, die in the verse, full forward, high in the lower, dive in the slit throat waters, and glide to the homicidal tides of the father. The tribe multiplicity, voyager, go for my tribe, outnumbered, we still soldier, throw boulders, interpretations are intricate, seeking somber minds, wandering time, trying to bombard the underline.
So if you speaking my name, I hunt you on the plains over the rocky terrain. The renegade are fully engaged, you in the maze, basking in the gamma rays. Counter waves, counter the space, counter your face, on or off the page, new or old age. A rhyme center stage, ink in the flesh, lines engraved, dogmatic, bits of sublime savage, destined with the madness, semicolon, dot,
Yo,
asterisk.
we gon' hit 'em with the anthem, have at 'em with the agony. Mutilated tragedy, automatic amputee, hard life reality. Been there, had a piece, agony, tragedy, agony, tragedy. Better bitch it with the disrespect of hip hop and actually tune in to the very elements of majesty. That's when your subject matter runs out of gas and see agony, tragedy, agony. We gon' hit 'em with the anthem, have at 'em with the agony. Mutilated tragedy, automatic amputee, hard life reality. Been there, had a piece, agony, tragedy, agony, tragedy. Better bitch it with the disrespect of hip hop and actually tune in to the very elements of majesty. That's when your subject matter runs out of gas and see agony, tragedy, agony, tragedy.
All right, we back. Yeah, man, it's probably old. I don't know how old. I believe the first one I saw was about January this year. So, a perfect example of when women can handle themselves against us asshole men. And when I say us, I use that very loosely because at least I'm not this asshole man. You know what I mean? Yeah, MMA fighter dude was at a video shoot. The young lady's name is Joyce Vieira.
Yeah.
And I guess some pervert popped up and would start playing with himself or whatever he was doing, pleasuring himself, and got his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Got his ass
Expeditiously,
whooped.
as T.I. would say.
Man, expeditiously.
Expeditiously.
Hey, take care of that. Take care of that expeditiously either. The funny thing about it is, of course, I didn't see the video. I wasn't there, of course. I believe she's from Brazil.
It happened in Brazil. I don't know exactly where she's from. I gotta still do a little bit of research and find out. But she was doing it in a photo shoot in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Okay, and it went all bad for this motherfucker. All I know is apparently not so well going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the second one I have found funny as hell too.
Hold on. I want to just go back a little bit because the little pieces of clips that I saw. This girl, so I saw a picture of this young lady, this MMA fighter, and she was doing some training, and she was kicking some bags,
the heavy bag.
Yeah, and she was kicking them bags with them tree trunks, and the dude was like, you could see the impact was full, whatever weight she weighed. She looked like she weighed like 160, maybe under that, maybe like 120, whatever it is. She got some tree trunks, and she was slapping the shit out them bags, and that dude was backing up. So when I saw the pictures, because I haven't seen the actual video footage, I just seen pictures of it. She kicking that nigga's ass with them tree trunks, and he looking like,
indiscriminately distributed. That's indiscrimination. She's not worried about the impact. She's letting it all fly. It's full court pressure. You know what I'm saying?
The full whatever she weighs behind every
time she landed a hit on that bag, his cheeks jump. Just like you can see the ripple effect through his cheeks, you know what I'm saying?
That slow motion.
It's no joke. You know, and this other young lady, Pollyanna Vienna, she beat the shit out of a would-be robber. I guess a guy tried to rob her, and she, was this in Brazil too, or is she from Brazil? Either way it go, apparently some ass whoopings is going on in Brazil.
She butt beat somebody. Somebody stepped up and she butt beat them all up in their shit.
With her hands though, and I looked at the photo, and it was a thorough ass whooping. It was a thorough ass whooping. I say, we said it before. Well, you say you asked for it and you got it. I say leave people the hell alone with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Especially them MMA fighters. Leave them MMA
Ooh,
fighters alone. They will kick
yeesh.
your body, and then
I,
they'll kick your ass off your body. Then later go and mount it on their wall as a trophy with underneath saying "fuckery."
hey, this shit, this woman punched this nigga in the mouth with his mama's face. I mean, god damn. It's an ass whooping that the dude looked like he was in a fight, just a brawl. You know what I'm
He
saying?
was.
But with her though, it was only her. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no bar fight. It wasn't no gang fight. It wasn't no homies fighting against her. No, 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 no. She whooped your ass. So I know he probably got up like they. No, 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 no they, no they. Just she, just she, just she beat that ass. And I guess what I find interesting about that is you out there assuming that this is an easy target. But what is that? What does Big Plex always say? Oh, you gonna walk over, but
you gonna crawl back. It ain't no easy win, nigga.
Yeah,
ain't no easy win.
it wasn't easy win is irrelevant because there was not even a win.
It wasn't even a contest.
It's nothing. It's all one sided. It's all you want to play, and I'm gonna show you, and then I'm gonna do you something. And something was done.
And I wonder if they were going 100% or if they were just going like 50, like they were sparring or something, knowing damn well that they about to beat the brakes off this person anyway.
Yeah, well, I would hope that it was 100% because if that's just 50%, well, it's a reason why it's not so well going in a ring with somebody who is as trained and as skilled as them. But this is just a regular motherfucker doing shit. You know what I'm saying? This is a regular. This nigga
that's what I'm saying. I wonder if they were going 50% since it's a regular instead of going that full 100 when you in the ring. But either way it go, they got their ass beat, and they should be proud of that ass kicking because they received it so expeditiously.
Because if it's 50%, dude, I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, if that's 50%. God damn, this motherfucker ate pizza that morning for breakfast, smoked a pack of cigarettes, had a couple of beers. He's a regular. I mean,
maybe had a coffee, maybe a cafe latte.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And he probably thought he's Broly. He probably thought this is a woman.
I'm a man.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I heard that. I heard the fuck out of that. You know what I'm saying?
He messed around with one of them Spartans. That's what they look like. Fucking Spartans.
You didn't even have enough wherewithal to try to when you saw the chokehold, the rear naked chokehold, and your feet was flailing in the air, and you felt the blood trickling out your motherfucking nose.
What is it? That's when you knew it all went wrong.
My nigga.
And the other one kicked kidneys out of his body. Kicked the whole kidneys out of his body.
At that's when you knew you fucked up because that little, you know what I'm saying? I wonder at what point did he go, oh, this isn't what I thought, what was going to be the outcome.
And then swap.
Yeah.
And then,
Man, look here.
That's what they get. They asked for it, and so shall they receive.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. And take another quick break, and I'm going to come back with the poverty perspective. It's going to be a depressing one.
Well, we can still keep going. We only 30 minutes in.
Well, then cut that out and make it, and you bub it up how you bub it up.
Just, I'll cut that piece out.
Good, yeah, cut it out and still use it for when it's time. If you can do that.
Yeah. So what, you got anything else you want to talk about?
Let me see.
Comment just shit you seen lately in the news or anything. Funny shit.
I tell you what I do want to talk about. Because you telling me it don't. You one of the people who told me it don't. The CBD, right? I was speaking about the CBD flower, and you were like, that shit don't get you. It don't get you high. At least that's what you told me.
No, I don't know about the flower, but the CBD oil. No, the CBD oil doesn't get you high. Now I was looking at the CBD flower. It says it does have small THC content. So basically, it's like microdosing THC. So
okay,
but I look at it like this: if you're gonna microdose, why don't you just smoke? But I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, if it does have that low content in it, it's good for me for the whole random drug test shit. You know what I'm saying?
But it's still gonna be in your system.
But it won't be as hard to get out. Don't try to regulate my common logic, even if it ain't common or logic, nigga. Just let me think about the shit that I want to think about. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think you need to do some more research on it before you go bubbing some shit you ain't ready to be bubbing.
Well, I did smoke a blunt, you know, with my partner of it, and in all truth, I did feel something, but what I liked about it was I didn't feel the whole, uh, I guess, body high, as it were.
You
I didn't
microdosed.
feel,
You didn't get the
yeah,
full high
the,
effect.
yeah, and that was cool for me because shit, I smoked that shit, and the elephant get to telling me that he in the room, and
Uh,
the clowns get to peeking through my
uh,
window,
uh,
and
uh.
Jason come in, and it's a whole lot of shit that don't be good that start going on.
Now I
You know
just
what I'm saying?
now from my small amount of research that I did, it did say that now if you go around and go bub you some CBD oil and smoke it and think you're gonna get some high from it, then you are going to be surely mistaken, sir, and
Yeah,
you are
well,
going to
I
be
wasn't
pissed
talking
off.
about the oil though. That kind of made sense. I wasn't even inquiring about the oil because I didn't really see where that would do anything anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's the oil. That's what I heard from about the oil and what I looked up for it. It I already knew that, but I just wanted to confirm because I was like, maybe I'm telling him something. Maybe he's telling me something that I don't know, and I'm bubbing him the wrong way. So I just did a quick little flower get you high in Google, and it says right here, uh, low THC cannabis is basically a low cannabis
yeah.
deal.
Well, the jar I saw said it. It said, I know usually
Mm-hmm.
when I would get weed
Mm-hmm.
in the what do you call it? Recreational and medicinal era, the modern era. It says when you ask like what's the content, they tell you, oh, it's 25%, you know, or 18% or whatever. The jar that I saw said that it was 0.3%, so it's significantly low. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
saying when I hit it, I did eventually start feeling like something was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it just didn't have me out of whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, shit, put that. Like, I didn't hit it. I didn't hit it once, and be like, God damn, nigga, they coming. They after me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That paranoia.
So yeah, that shit. You know, I don't know. I just wanted to give it a try, and with it being, I wanted to give it a try, and with it being so low, like you said, microdosing, I figure, man, hit this a couple times and then lay off of it, cleanse the system, and should be easier to come clean in those 30 days. Perhaps, just how I'm guessing.
From what I understand, I could be wrong. It doesn't matter really the quantity of how much it is. If it's but I could be wrong. What I heard
Hmm.
is if it's in your system, it's in your system regardless.
Okay.
But again,
Wait.
I could be completely wrong. It could be the test result. The test could be based on how many, I guess, what is it, milligrams or nanograms or whatever is in your system versus,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Right. Well, I know either way it go. You know, in my industry that I work in, it's I don't think it would matter anyway. I feel it's stupid if you're doing that job in this state, if it's legal, leave people the fuck alone. I mean, you don't have proof of when, what, where, and how, but you can always tell if somebody is high right now. There's really, I don't care how good you hold your composure, it's really no way to not know that the motherfucker's high if you're in that office right now. There's really no way to not know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's because you're doing a profession. There's a gray area there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but I guess I just don't like how the stuff that's not good for you,
Mm-hmm.
cigarettes, the alcohol, you can do that shit all day, and it leaves in a certain
And
time
nobody's
frame to
testing
where it's,
for it.
yeah. Well, they test for alcohol, but I can drink a beer now and go to work in 6 hours and not test for
Yeah, but
alcohol.
I
You
think
know what I'm
alcohol
saying?
leaves your body in 3 hours per
Yeah, well,
per
or whenever
drink or
you
something
eat
like
and
that.
piss out, yeah, and it crystallizes into your system, metabolism, or whatever it is. But either way it goes, for marijuana to linger so long, it's not a bad thing. So I would like to see that just get eradicated for what they're testing for altogether. It's a little too much to ask for. I understand, you know what I mean, but this just
Well,
how I feel.
it'll probably get eradicated for regular jobs, but then again, when you're dealing with the job, you're not dealing with the government law. You're dealing with whatever business law that they have, whatever their guidelines are. So that's where the gray area is. And being that you're in a business where you drive, I can see why they would want to test. I mean, if you're not doing something where you could actually risk. I mean, you're driving a fucking death machine down
Put
the
that up.
road.
Put that up for me. Right
You
there
know
by
what I
the
mean?
flowers. Look.
You know
To
what
the
I mean?
refrigerator. Yeah. I'm
You're
sorry, I
driving.
was talking to my kid. It's bothering me. Go ahead.
You're driving it. Well, like I said, you're driving a death machine down the road. You're not drive. You're not even if you're in a taxi, you're driving a death machine down the road. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
So I can see why they would do that
yeah.
for somebody who's doing driving as a profession, as a career base.
Mhm.
I couldn't see somebody testing somebody who works at McDonald's for marijuana. That's kind of
Yeah,
stupid.
like as far as the randoms, but my whole thing with
Yeah.
it, I agree 100%
Well, no,
with that.
I still feel the
But it's
randoms are
stupid
okay.
to me. It's still stupid to me on the level of if it's legal. Now here's the thing: in the event of an accident, off the top.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the tests work, but I've been told that there's a way to tell about how much was intake, intake
Yeah.
the
How long
intake
ago it
was.
was in your system
Yeah, and
and
if they
how
can
it's
do all
depleting
that,
out.
then leave me alone. If you could tell I smoked a blunt 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm not still high today.
Yeah. I think they do that
Leave,
with. I think they do that with sports with MMA fighters when they test them for the for all those steroids and stuff. I think it's something about how long ago it was in your system and all this and that, and then
okay. So it
it's
can't be
something.
done then.
Yeah, now I don't know if it can be done with marijuana. Or cannabis. That's something totally different,
Oh, okay.
But I hear about with fighters with steroids and stuff when they take their testing and all that stuff. And what was it, John Jones, who recently he had all that controversy about steroids and
Yeah,
all that stuff, and
yeah,
you can get contaminated batches of protein shakes or whey shakes with them. That shit is that they take
yeah.
supplements.
What was that? What it was, or that was his story?
He was claimed. Well, he had a. So his story here goes. His story. He fought, tested, and he came out that he pissed hot, and
Okay.
controversy about that because he had pissed hot previously. And so
Hmm.
he was going on a different suspension type of thing. They were going to ban him or some shit like that to that effect. And he was fighting it because he was saying that no, yeah, okay, I pissed hot last time, but no, this isn't the case. And it had to do with something with it was residual drug in his system that was released out of his fat content of his body as he was working
Okay.
out and thinning out for fighting when he was coming
Okay.
back. So it happened. It was something about that, something biological about that situation, and it was something that they found out as they were testing and learning, doing more research and learning more
Right.
research things with it. So
Okay.
he ended up getting able to get his license back to continue fighting.
Okay. So essentially, it was the latent affect of having done it for the original test. It's
Correct.
still in the system, so
Correct.
they decided not to hold it against him.
Well, they suspended him at first, but once they did all their initial testing and everything, and their research and data analyst stuff, they came to the conclusion that the amount that was residual in his system
Hmm.
had no effect on him in performance wise.
Okay.
So
So
it
they did a recall based on that.
yeah,
Okay.
because the percentage was so low that it has to be residual stuff that was already still in his body that's just bleeding out because over time, you know what I mean?
Right.
and it does.
So
It's no longer having any performance enhancing effects on his performance.
okay, so you think that that's like not possible to do with marijuana?
I think it is possible. How, I don't know how they would have to do that. You know, that's not my area of expertise.
Yeah.
If they can do it with steroids, I don't see why they couldn't do it
We
with.
couldn't, yeah, because I'm just saying, isn't it just toxicology, period? You know what I'm saying? That's all
Yeah,
it is, really, you know.
but I don't
If
know
you
if they
can,
have. I don't know if they have what kind of studies they have on that. You know, because since the drug was illegal for so long, I don't know if that's something that they have actually researched and figured out. You know, down to the nanoparticle of how much you had in your system versus how much you have now, and the time
mm,
framing of that. I don't know if they have that data point.
oh, okay.
It may just be a point where they never had to really test for it. If it showed up, it showed up, and that's what they went on because it showed up. Not versus, oh, okay, well, we see you have point blah 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 milligrams of this in your system, but it's not really effective. This is just residual stuff that's bleeding out
Okay.
or
Okay.
leaching out, however you want to say it. But
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
pretty
Well, I
sure.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can do it, but I don't know. Again, like I said, I don't know if they have any data points on that subject.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just don't like it, but I'm nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's not an important thing. People could just say, they just sober up and quit fucking smoking weed, but it's kind of enjoyable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
For those of us who enjoy
it's
it,
it's a
but
hypocritical rule. It's a hypocritical rule when you have like you articulated, when you can drink one day and then go drive the next day and you're fine. Even if
yeah.
you or drink one day, go take the test the next day and you're fine. It should be the same way. But I get your point. I get your perspective on that. I get your point on that.
Hmm.
But I don't think it will stop with people that deal with heavy machinery, who have to do drug testing. I don't think that's going to stop.
Yeah, nah,
They
you're
may
right.
relax it. They may relax it
Yeah,
though. They may relax it if they have those data points that we were talking about. Then they may relax it to the point where it's like, okay. And I do agree, if you have an accident, that should be, if you're a driver by profession, you should be drug tested. I mean, I do agree with that.
yeah. I mean, but I'm saying it's selfish. It's not important. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not a
You
major
just don't want
thing.
to do it.
I just don't want to deal with that shit if because how you said it is all I'm saying, bro. If a motherfucker can get drunk and still work the next day, and you
You should be able to
uh
smoke and go to work the next day.
yeah, you know what I mean? Fuck it. It ain't like I'm still high from yesterday.
Yeah, not off weed. I mean, if you are, that means you ain't smoked in forever and forever, ever, ever, ever. And you stopped smoking the day and slept for 1 hour and
Well,
went
that would
right
be
to work.
different because you definitely still. I mean, come on. You feel? I'm talking about, okay. Say like
You
you go to
smoke,
work.
you eat, you lay
Yeah, you
down, you
go.
go to
Yeah, you
sleep, you
go to
wake up
work.
the
You go
next day.
home. Right. And I'm not even talking about traditional truck driving hours because those are very long. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And so if I
just
get
a
home
regular
at
9 to 5, like a
one
nine to
o'clock in the
five.
morning and I'm smoking and then I get up and go back to work before that 10 hour, which you're not supposed to, or right at that 10 hour, anywhere in there at the 10 hour and after, I'm good. I'm not still the same high.
Yeah, yeah. It's gone. You may now, if you've been drinking, you may have a hangover if you get those. I don't get those.
Yeah, that I mean that's true. That's true. I don't know. Like I said, it's selfish for me. I just don't like it.
You
You
just
know
don't
what
want
I'm
to do
saying?
it. Just say it. I don't want to do
Yeah.
it. I want to smoke my weed in peace, and if I have to work the next day, let me just work.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody's not responsible. I get it. I
Yeah,
would, but see, I don't even like to drink and drive. See, I don't even like feeling the buzz from drinking and driving. I don't like none of it. That's not to say I've never done that. Of course, we all have went out and maybe had a couple drinks and still drove home.
yeah,
So it happens. But you know what I'm saying, my nigga. I
yeah.
just don't
I don't
like it.
like it
I
either.
I wouldn't get high and drive because I wouldn't get high and drive.
Yeah,
You know, I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. It's not worth it. I have gotten buzz and drive before. Well, when we were young, though, I mean, that's different. We used to be fucked up. Let's let all of us.
Well, when
The
you young,
Riviera, the Cutlass, whatever the fuck we was in,
when you young
we
and
was
dub, you
fucked
do
up.
dub
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. We was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But
So
I'm talking about now. I don't like the feeling of that extra apprehension when I'm trying to, navigate a vehicle. I don't
yeah, well,
like it.
you're older now. You're more mature. You got more responsibility, and you see things differently from when we were in our late teens, early 20s. You know, it comes with age. It comes with age. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And on that note, it looks like we're approaching the 1 hour mark.
Yeah. We are. So, well, something that agitates me. It's a little segment I call the poverty perspective, and it bothers me. This one really bothers me coming off of what we were speaking about earlier, the crisis in Virginia Beach, and yes, I call it a crisis. Um, gun laws. Gun laws are biased. I mean, I don't know if you agree. If you agree or not, gun laws are absolutely biased. The main thing that I know about gun laws is that I'm quite sure, like I said earlier, it's a whole lot of them that it takes for you to actually obtain a firearm. But the ones that I know is the psyche evaluation, and you can't be a felon.
Well,
Those are the two that I know.
the psychic evaluation, I don't think that's in play completely yet. I think
So
that's
what
on the
is another
table.
one? What's another one that that goes with you can't be a felon? What's another restriction that would keep you from doing that?
From owning a gun if you're psychic.
Owning a gun,
Oh, no.
period.
Oh, okay, I got what you're saying. No. I'm sorry. I was confused on what you're saying. Yeah, if
Okay,
you
so I'm
are,
right then.
yeah,
If
you're right. You're right. You're right.
mentally ill or you're a felon, right off the top, you're not supposed to get a firearm. Well,
Correct.
one is more provable than the other, right off the bat. You could run my name and see if I've been incarcerated under the felony jacket and if I don't qualify to have a firearm. You can't prove to me that I am mentally unstable if I've never been to any form of mental hospital, if I've never been arrested and held in any psych ward in any penal facility. So you don't even go on my social media to see if I'm spewing any racial or radical rhetoric. You don't do anything to the full extent of research other than, oh, this person shot up this, he must be mentally ill. This nigga shot up this nigga's a criminal. And you know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's very biased. Nobody's going to submit themselves to mental health evaluation if they want the firearm bad enough, especially if they want it to be up to no good. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can see if I'm a felon. You can see if I'm a felon all day. Now, if my felony has something to do with, I don't know, say selling drugs. If my felony has something to do with anything nonviolent, then why is it that my right to hold a firearm is now taken from me when it could just be I don't have the right to bear it in public. I don't have the right to do certain things with the firearm, but I can't even have a firearm in my house legally to protect my damn family. I feel it's biased. I feel that as much as we anchor ourselves to this theory that all people who are in gangs are terrorists and all these things, but people who are radical or more to the liking of or the likeness of the right are not. I feel that is some bullshit. The gentleman who just shot up these people in Virginia Beach, I'm told, is black.
That's correct.
I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I can't speak to that. I know that it's an atrocity, no matter what race behind the trigger. You understand what I'm saying? I know that lives were lost. I know that people were injured. I know it's another day that somebody is going to have to remember as one of the worst days of their life all over again. This is not going to be the last day. In this country, we seem to have more love for a firearm than we do each other. I'd rather I'd rather know that a firearm is aimed at somebody simply because they look different than me, they think different than me, they feel different than me, and then uh uh when it comes down to one of these atrocities, it's it's like, well, okay, I got to keep my gun. Now I think that you should be able to keep your gun. You know, I think it's important. Uh, I think it's important to be able to protect your family, but the carrying it out into public, I'm not so sure about that. First I was all for the way Texas rock. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really like the whole Florida stand your ground, because stand your ground is turned into, oh, that nigga spit at the ground, shooting. Oh, that nigga music too loud, shooting. Oh, that nigga's a nigga, shooting. So I don't like that. But I used to rock with Texas with the whole, you know, we can carry our guns in public. I had the position. Uh, you know what I'm saying? I had the position that, well, if I have my gun on me, you are like you're a lot less likely to try me on some bullshit. And I still kind of feel that way. But when we got people, and again, I don't know what happened, but when we got people disgruntled over jobs, when we got people just irritated with a person's race or their religion, so let me get this firearm and go shoot multiple rounds at multiple people and cause such devastation. There has to be something that can be done about that. I don't know what it is. I really don't know. I do not have the answer. I'm thinking about it. I talk with you, brother, a lot about it. We're wrapping our minds around it. Maybe it's something that we can do, and we're not policymakers. We're not city or state or county officials. It's just something has to be done. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This shit is fucking horrible. But because this shit happens, I have to be honest, I'm still not on board with completely unarming the people, putting us at a serious disadvantage to potential tyrannical government. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not.
I never will be.
I'm
I
not
never
with
will
that
be.
either. I'm not with that either. My Second Amendment right. If we remove one right, then who's to say that we can't remove the rest of them? So no, I'm
Well,
not.
that's my point. The thing about it is, it's so horrible of an atrocity that I don't know what else can be done. You know what I mean? I don't know what else can be done. What do you think about that?
It's a tricky situation. I think one of the things that I heard from I forgot what politician it was who was talking about it. They talked about having guns with fingerprint triggers, so that you couldn't fire the gun without the right fingerprint identity. And if you sold that gun and you didn't report it, and that gun went on to be used in committing a crime, and that gun was apprehended, that when it comes back as not being registered as a sale, that you, the original owner, will get some of that time too. And I think that'll help mitigate some of it, but it won't stop it. I mean, it's, I mean, again, there's more guns on the street than people, so it's hard to say. And I'm with both sides. You know what I mean? I straddle the fence on both sides. I think that people should be able to have the right to bear arms, but at the same time, you know, we need to do something to mitigate senseless gun violence from both sides, you know, police and
Right.
civilian.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Non-biasedly down the line, senseless gun violence is senseless gun violence. I don't
Correct.
care if it's a regular person on the street or a police officer, even though they're licensed and authorized to carry and authorized to use excessive force when is needed. When
Correct.
it's not needed, they are still using excessive force.
Well, that law
What
may
can we
change
do
in
about that?
California. Law may change in California. I saw something about that where they're going to start basically arresting cops if they use excessive force in a situation that doesn't need excessive force. But again, that again will be a tricky situation, and whoever the first officer goes down for that will be the scapegoat.
Right. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Ultimately, gun laws are very biased. Gun
Yeah,
laws
I
that
agree.
state you can't have a felony and any kind of purchase a firearm. Well, you can't purchase one legally, at least.
We're
Uh,
only talking about legally.
yeah, legally, you can't purchase a firearm. That renders an individual who may not be a violent criminal helpless to protect his family against a potential invader to his household that is armed. It puts you at a risk. It puts you in a situation where it only can surmount to no good. You know what I mean? It only can surmount to no good. Ultimately, they're saying you have no choice but to sit there, ball up in the closet, hope that authorities get there in time to do something about it. And oh well, if not, your ass is grass. We'll bring the corner to haul you out under a white sheet. It is a horrible thing that happened in Virginia Beach. I do feel sorry for both of those families and those who lost their loved ones in Virginia Beach. But other than that, I don't know what to do.
I don't think anybody really has the answer for that one. I think that's such a
And I'm trying to get in
messy.
this gate. This nigga tell me to come in and
What?
ain't even open
What?
the gate.
What?
Thank y'all. He got his
What?
garage open. I'm talking about T-Bams. He got his damn garage open, talking about come in, but he ain't came out to open the gate. But go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah. So I see you bubbing it through the city. So,
Yeah.
on that note, I think we'll close this segment and close this podcast out and let you get to bubbing around.
Yeah.
Stay away from potholes, my guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit was crazy.
So so that's it.
Yeah, well, this has been another episode. In closing to that, I'll add that again, my condolences to the families that lost their loved ones, and we really need to make a choice in this country. What's more important, the goddamn firearm or a human being? We have to make a choice. There's too much death. There's too much chaos. Yes, keep your firearm to protect your family, but other than that, this shit is really getting out of hand, or it's been out of hand. Let me say it's been out of hand, but it seems that because we can record everything, even without it being recorded, the news is reporting these instances more often. Almost once, what would you say, how often? Like, I don't know, once every few months, maybe?
Probably so.
Yeah, bruh. Either way it goes, my condolences again, my people. We are being pushed more and more towards a impoverished reality. I don't know what the answer is, but let's get it together. Thank you, Brother Plex.
We the people need to get it together.
Yeah, we the people need to get all the people, not just the regular constituency, policymakers, those in power.
We the people, bruh. We the people.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you again, brother. This was a long poverty perspective, but I'm a little shook up about that. It's chilling almost. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. And if I'm not mistaken, again, a high power rifle perhaps was used in that, I think. Again.
No, 2 handguns.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
They're just as bad.
Yeah.
It's all dangerous. Poverty perspective, man. Some more of it. Thank you again, brother. Everybody, thank you for the moment of oddity, and it's an ODDKAST.
It's the ODDKAST, bitch.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yo, it's the ugly. I'm about to break it. Man, fuck that. Check it out. Power and momentum. Vocal bullets bring the host to your building. Same time, feed the souls of your children. Closed minds get exposed to the vision. Same time, double-edged sword to the throat of the serpent and kingdom. Kinda hard not to walk in the blues. Hard to walk the avenues where they ain't got no shoes.
Too much goddamn mayonnaise.